The last class we have seen, so what is a demand function? And then what is the law of demand? So law of demand is so always so what is the law of demand means? It's the price of the commodity is inversely proportional to the demand of the commodity. So what is the meaning of inversely proportional means? If the price of the goods is increased, automatically the demand of the particular product is reduced. So that's why we call it as a inversely proportional to the demand of the, but the price is inversely proportional to the demand of the product. And also we have seen what are the factors it's began that law of demand, the price effect and the substitution effect and income effect. The price effect in the sense, okay, suppose price is one of the factors behind the law of demand. So what is the price effect in the sense? For example, I'm going to consider electricity. The electricity we have used for it in different purpose. One is lightning the running the fan, and then we can use it for heat the water. We can use for different purpose. Whenever the electricity power is increased, we are mainly used for main purpose. Okay. So rest of the things we go for alternative one. The price is one of the factor, and the substitution effect, and third one is the income effect. We have seen that. After that, we have seen what is a demand curve diagram. So the demand curve is nothing but the tabular representation. We had price of the commodity and the demand of the commodity that can be represented in a graphical format. It's called as a demand curve. And then we have seen what is the individual demand, what is the market demand. Individual demand means, for example, person X is demand, we call it as an individual demand. Market demand in the sense aggregation of person X and person Y and person Z. So aggregation of all the demand, we call it as a market demand. And then we have seen certain what is the equation for linear demand and what is a non-linear demand. We have seen certain equation, and then we have solved one example. After that, we have seen certain product. It's not come under the law of exception. For example, what is the law of demand in the sense the price of the commodity is increased, automatically the demand of that particular product is reduced. Certain product is not come under this category. Okay, so first one is Ziffan goods. So Ziffan goods, otherwise called as inferior goods. Okay, inferior in the sense, okay, inferior means already we have seen that okay, inferior goods, and the next one is prestigious goods. So the prestigious goods, otherwise called as snob appeal. For example, the best example is the diamond necklace. Okay, what is the prestigious goods means? It shows the status symbol. Even the price of the commodity is increased or decreased for the diamond, same amount of the people to buy the diamond necklace because they have the money. So such power in their hand. Okay, so there is no law of demand operating on the prestigious goods. The next one is demonstration effect. The demonstration effect is the people behavior entirely different from other people, such a way that they are noticed by remaining people in the society. Okay, they will buy things even the price of the things is very high. Okay. Next thing is the future expectation of the prices in future. For example, some of the future maybe in future may be increased. So because of that, the more number of the people buying the particular product. So, and the next one is insignificant proportion of the income spent. For example, if you consider the very low volume and limited use, like we are a certain product, we are going to use a limited amount in their daily purpose. For example, even though the salt price is very less, but we are not buying more thing. Okay, we are going to use certain amount of the grams of salt in our daily uses. Okay, even though the price is very low, but people much not fascinate to buy those products. And then we have seen what is the demand shift in demand curve. We have seen that, and today I'm going to start with what is the meaning of supply. Supply and demands are two sides of the coin. First, I'm going to defining it. What is the supply? The supply means the willing of the organization to sell the particular commodity. It's called as a supply. So, what is the supply means? The willing of the organization to sell a particular commodity. It's called as a supply. And the supply is determined by the following factors. The first one is the supply of the products depending on the following factors. The first one is the price of the commodity. Okay. So already the price of the commodity. Okay. The supply is positively related to the price of the commodity. Okay, for example, what is the price of the product in the sense the price is reasonable in the sense then only the manufacturer they are going to buy more amount of the product. For example, the raw material of the product is increased. Obviously, what happened? The production also is reduced. So the price of the product. Okay, the supply is positively related to the price of the commodity with all the remaining factors are same. If the price of the product is rises, the supplier would find it profit to sell more. Okay. The price, okay, for the price of the commodity is marginal in the sense, then only what happened, the seller, they will get the more profit. So first factor is the price of the product. And second factor is the cost of the production. Okay, already I said, for example, you are going to manufacture any one of the product. So what is the input for that manufacture means raw material. If the raw material cost is increased, obviously what happened? The production cost also increased. Okay. The production requires the transformation of various input into the output and involved the following thing. One is called as a wages. Okay. For example, in order to manufacturing the product, n number of human being required means in the monthly you want to pay the salary for you want to pay the salary for those people. So wages is one of the factors, and rent. For example, you don't have the land in order to produce a certain product, so you take the land from any one of the people. You take the land in the rental, and then within that you are going to manufacturing certain product. So every month you want to pay the rental amount to the owner of the land. Okay, the rent is rent is one of the factor, and the interest and the price of the raw material. Okay. So in order to start a business, you don't have enough amount of the money. Okay, you get the loan from the bank. Every month you want to pay EMI to the bank. So EMI interest is one of the factor. Then last one is the price of the raw material. Okay. If the production of if the cost of the production is increased due to the prices of raw material, definitely. Okay. So the cost of production is one of the factors, and then third factor is the state of technology. So technology is one of the factors. Okay, the technology have the positive relationship with the supply. Okay. Okay, we can say one example. Nowadays, what happened? I go into that battery manufacturing concept. So nowadays, the lithium-ion battery or lithium ferrophosphate battery is more advanced comparing with lead-acid battery. So technology is a very important one of the factors. So nowadays you consider electrical car, how they are going to produce the electrical car means which one of the component is acting as a backend in the sense the lithium-ion battery or lithium ferrophosphate battery. So technology is one of the factors. And then third and the last one is and the fourth one is number of organization. If they suppose if we consider Tirupur, in the Tirupur, what happened? A number of textile manufacturing companies are available. Obviously, what happened? It will increase the degree of competition. So supply also increased, and also increase the degree of competition. So number of organization is one of the factors, and the last one is government policy. Okay, the government policies are related to tax and subsidies on concerned product. Okay, based on that, what happened? It will affect the supply of that particular product. It may increase or decreased. Okay, and if you consider in the textile industries, when the textile industries are they are going to manufacturing the product, they want to pay 28% of the tax to the government. Okay, so it's so what is the effect of GST in the sense? Obviously, what happened? It will decrease the some supply of that supply of the commodities. Okay, so based on that, they will defining that what is a supply. So supply is the supply of the particular product. X is nothing but particular product. Okay, the supply of the X, it's depending on the following factors. Okay, the price of the product, the cost of the production, and state of technologies and government policies, and other factors like number of organization. Okay, based on that, they will defining what is the supply. Okay, so from this, they will defining that what is the law of supply. The law of supply is okay. They will defining what is the law of supply. The other things remaining same. The higher price of the commodity is the higher price of the commodity, the greater is the quantity supplied. Okay. So what I am trying to say that the price of the price of the product is revenue to the seller. Okay, therefore higher price means they will get the more revenue. Okay, okay, supply is a positive relationship with the price of the commodity. Okay, supply is increased, automatically what happen? The price of the commodity. For example, they will show an example, supply schedule. So what is the meaning of supply schedule? In the sense, the price of the commodity versus the number of supply in particular product. Okay, for example, the price of the cup, for example, here they consider paper cup, one of the product. The paper cup, the price is 15 rupees in the sense that the supply for month is 10. If the price of the cup is 20 rupees in the sense, the supply for month is 20, and consider third one, the price of the cup is 25 rupees in the sense, the supply per month is 30. Okay, so the previously I said supply is positive relationship with the price of the commodity. Then only what happened, the seller they will get the more profit. Okay. Okay. So next, they are talking about, suppose they are taking for a different supply, and then they are going to demonstrate what happened. Okay, suppose for example, the initial curve is S0. Suppose the curve is moved from S0 to S1. So what happened? So more supplied at each point. Okay, suppose the curve is moved from S0 to S1. Here what happened? They are they are going to show in the graph the price versus quantity. Okay, they are taking the two parameter. One is called as a price and quantity that can be represented in the graph. And then in the graph we had 3 points. So S0, S1, and S2. So suppose the curve moved from S0 to S1, what happened? Suppose the curve moved from S0 to S2, what happened? Okay, that can be represented in this presentation. Suppose initially the curve is there S0. Suppose move from S1, what happened in the sense? More supplied at given price. So it causes what happened in the sense. So if, suppose move from S0 to S1, what happened in the sense? The more supply. Okay. The more supply is appear for the given price. So what is the reason behind that? In the sense, the price, if it is there, means the price of the raw material may be ready, maybe less. That's why what happens, supply is high. Okay, and some, even though supply is high, but they are going to offer it same price. Okay, that is the meaning of S1. Suppose the curve move from S0 to S2, S0 to S2. What happened in the sense, so less supplied at the given price. So why causes that scenario? In the sense, maybe the price of the raw material is increased, and maybe the change in government policies. Because of that, it happened. Okay. Okay. So it's called as a change in supply. So what is the meaning of change in supply? In the sense, if supply is increased at the same cost, so what is the reason behind that? Suppose supply is reduced, so what is the reason? That what is the reason behind that? That can be demonstrated in change in supply. Okay. So previously, what I said, again, that can be represented in again one graph format. For example, okay, what happens? Suppose the same thing, supply is increased. So why the supply is increased at the same price? Why? What is the reason behind that? That can be represented like that. The price of the raw material is very less, and then price of the alternative goods is very less, and then number of organization may be high in the particular region, and then technologies in advanced. So because of that, the supply is increased, and then they are going to offering it same price. Suppose supply is very less. Okay, so what is the reason behind that? Okay, maybe the price of the raw material is increased, and the price of the alternative goods also increased, and the number of organization within the particular sector is reduced. Okay, so because of that, the supply is reduced, and the cost of the price also increased. Okay. Um, okay. Next, next I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to introduce next terminology is called market equilibrium. So market equilibrium. Initially, you should know that what is the equilibrium. The equilibrium is referred to state of balance that occur in the model. Okay. Okay. State of balance. Okay. For example. Already we in the beginning of the class itself, we have seen what is the equilibrium. Both of them should be benefited. That point we call it as a equilibrium point. Equilibrium point. So I am a seller, you are a buyer. As a customer point of view, I want to get the more profit to sell the product. Whereas in the customer point of view, they want to buy a more quantity of the things for a lesser amount of that money. Okay, it is their expectation. When they are going to meet both expectation in one particular point, that point we call it as a market equilibrium. Sorry, that point we call it as a equilibrium. Okay. So next, we move on to that. What is a market equilibrium? Okay, the equilibrium occur at the price where the quantity demanded and quality supplied equal to each other. Okay, equal to each other. Okay. Suppose the for given for prices below the equilibrium. For example, they previously what I said, that can be represented in graph. For example, they given one scenario. For example, the price of the cup is 15 rupees, and supply is 10, and demand is 50. It's not a equilibrium point. Okay. Next scenario. Next, they will take one more example. The price of the cup is 20 rupees. The supply is 15, but demand is 40. In third case, what happened? The price of the cup is 25, but the supply is 30, and demand also is 30. That particular point we call it as a market equilibrium point. So that can be represented in the graph. The graph it associated with the two axes. One is x, another one is y. In the x-axis they represented as a quantity, and y-axis they represented as a price. in the graph, we had one point that is called as a E. That point we call it as a equilibrium point, market equilibrium point. Suppose the quantities demand is exceed, the quantity is supplied. Okay, the quantity demand is exceed quality is supplied. Obviously, what happened? The price of the cup is automatically it's increased or upward. Suppose vice versa is happened. The demand is less compared with the supply. Okay, what happened? Obviously, it's pulling the price down. Okay, it's pulling the price down. Okay, next I'm going to defining that what is the excess supply and okay. So next I'm going to defining that what is you suppose excess supply happen. Suppose excess supply is there in the market, what happened? Suppose excess demand is there in the market, in the sense what happened? Let's see. Suppose I will take one example. Consider the paper cup manufacturer. The cup of the price of the cup is 30 rupees. Um, the customer demand is 15 cup per month, in the sense. Okay, first I will tell that what is suppose excess supply is available means what happened. For example, I'm going to manufacturing one product. The price of the product is 30 rupees, but actually the uh, 30 rupees. I'm going to sell that particular product into the market. The consumer demand for the particular product, for example, paper cup. The demand for the paper cup is 15,000 per month. Now I'm a manufacturer. The price is very high. So whenever the price is very high, then only what happen? I will get the more profit. So now what I'm going to do? I'm going to manufacturing more product. Okay. Actually, the per month market demand is 15,000. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to supply 45,000 cups per month. So if it is there, what happen in the sense? The price is very high. Obviously, the customer, they are going to buy lesser amount of the quantity. That is the objective. Okay, that can be represented as in mathematical notation. So E suffix S, the supply of the particular product, suffix S equal to okay. So now what happened? The quantity is okay. The quantity supplied is very higher. In the scenario, what happened? Okay, in the scenario, what happened is supply greater than the demand. Okay, that can be represented in a mathematical notation. The supply of the particular product is Q power. Okay, wait a minute. I will. Which is not that concept, which is not available in your PPT. Okay. Okay, you can refer the. I will share the ebook. Okay, you can refer that mathematical notation in your book. Okay. The next scenario is excess demand means what happen. Okay. Okay, excess demand means, for example, the demand is high comparing with the supply. So, for example, the price of the product is reduced. Obviously, what happened? The demand of the product is high. but supply in the market is very less. What happened? That is called as excess demand. So demand is high comparing with the supply. It's called as a excess demand. Okay, it's called as a excess demand. Okay. So next, okay. In the given graph, what happened? Suppose they're explaining what is a change in market equilibrium. Here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to consider demand and supply. For example, okay, given that graph, okay, in the given graph, the original equilibrium point is called as E. Okay, the original equilibrium point is E. What is the meaning of equilibrium point in the sense? Both of them is a benefited. Okay, the demand is equal to supply. That when it's going to meet that point, we call it as equilibrium. Okay, suppose apart from the equilibrium point in the graph, the remaining two equilibrium points are available in the graph. One is called as E2, another one is called as E naught. So what is the meaning of E2? What is suppose the equilibrium point move from E2 E naught in the sense what happened? Suppose E2 E2 in the sense what happened? That can be represented in the graph. Okay. The original point is in the graph is called as a E. The point of intersection of D1 and the S1 at the price P and Q naught. Okay. All of you listen that graph. What happened? The price of the commodity is P and quantity of the commodity is Q. Okay. Okay. So in this scenario, what happened? The increase the supply shift, increase the supply, and the supply curve to S2. Suppose supply is increased, what happened? Okay, suppose the supply is increased means what happened? The price of the product is reduced, but quantity is increased. Suppose the equilibrium point move from E2 to E naught. In the sense, what happened? Consider this graph, what happened? The price is increased, the quantity is reduced. So that is the objective of change in market equilibrium. Okay. Previously, we have seen that in the supply point of view. Next, we are going to talk about equilibrium point in the demand. What is we are going to talk about equilibrium point in the demand. Okay. So, for example, in the given graph, equilibrium point, the demand equilibrium point is E. The given price is P and Q. Suppose maybe the demand equilibrium point move upward or downward. In case increased upward in the sense, the price of the quantity is increased. The prices, the prices and all price also increased. Okay, suppose the equilibrium point move in downwards. For example, the equilibrium point is E2. What happened? The price of the product also increase and the quantity of the price of the product is decreased and quantity of the product is decreased. Okay. Okay. They are taking for supply and demand. Both of them is represented in graph. Okay. So both of them they are represented in the graph. Actually, the initial demand and supply is supply. Actually, initial demand and supply curve. Actually, D1 to D. So main objective is um, the increase in the demand. Okay, suppose what is the main objective of market equilibrium in the sense demand also increase and supply also increased. If both are equal in the sense, that point we call it as a equilibrium point. If suppose anyone is maybe vary. For example, the demand is increased more than supply. Okay. So what previously we have seen that can be represented in the graph. Okay. That's all about market equilibrium. Okay. So market equilibrium in the sense the equilibrium occur the price where the quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal to each other. That point we call it as a market equilibrium point. Suppose any one of the factors change, what happened? So for example, suppose the demand of the quantities are demanded exceed comparing with the quantity supplied. So the causes is the pulling up the price upwards. Suppose vice versa. The quantity demand is very less comparing with its supplied. What happened? The price of the commodities the price of the commodities are pulling downwards. Okay, so and then okay, they are considered demand and supply that can be represented in the graph. In the graph, the point E is called as equilibrium point. What is the meaning of equilibrium point in the sense that the supply also demand, supply also 30 and the demand also 30 means that point we call it as equilibrium point. If any one of the factors change, suppose the quality is increased, the quantity is increased, but the suppose the equilibrium point is a move from E to E to 2. In the sense, what is the meaning is the quantity of the price is increased, but the price is very less. In the point of view, only one person is benefited. So that can be represented in the equilibrium point. Okay. Okay. Now, so all of you now, what you're going to do? You're going to answering the given poll questions. So now I'm going to launch all the poll question. So all of you answer the poll question one by one. Okay, so all of you answer the poll question. So 56 students are available. Only 43 students are answered the first poll question. What about remaining students? So what about remaining students, pa? So 56 students are there in the online, but only 46 students are answered the question. So what is the answer for law of supply? Just now we have seen that law of supply is higher price of the commodity is the greater is the quality supplied. That is called as a law of supply. Okay, the price of the commodities are high. Obviously, what happens? Supply also increased. Okay, already I said the price is the positive relationship with the supply of that product. Okay, next one is the next thing is what is the market equilibrium. Okay, just now we have seen market equilibrium is the balance that occur in the model. So seller also benefited and consumer also benefited. That point we call it as a market equilibrium. Okay. So next poll is if excess supplies occur, what happen in the market? If excess excess supply in the sense, obviously what happens? Supply is very high comparing with the demand. Obviously, it's reflect to, it causes, it will pulling down the price of that product. Okay. Suppose excess demand is occur. So if excess demand is occur in the sense, what happen? The demand is higher than the supply. Obviously, it causes, it will pulling up the price of that particular product. Okay. So 54 students are there, only 47 students only answer the question. What about remaining students? So next class we are going to talk about what is a circular flow of income. Okay. Okay, what is the meaning of circular flow of income in the sense? How is the money is circulated in the economy? Okay, how the money is circulated in the economy. Okay, it's classified into two category. One is called as a two-sector economy. Another one is four-sector economy. In the two-sector economy, in the sense, only two players are available in the economy. One is called as a consumer, another one is called as organization. Here, you are going to consider one assumption that there is no intervention of the government policies. Okay, two-sector economy in the sense only two players are available in the economy. One is called as a consumer, another one is organization. You are going to assuming that whenever you are going to talk about two-sector economy, you are going to considering that there is no government intervention. Okay. So there from this what happened, they are going to derive on mathematical notation. So okay, that thing we will see in the next class. And the next thing is four sector economy. In the four sector economy, okay, here four players are available. One is organization, and then consumer, and then government policies and banks. Okay, these are the things are available. So in that, how the economics are in the scenario, how the monies are flow in the economy. So we have in detail in the next class. Okay, thank you so much. Do you have any queries regarding today class? Any queries?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we will meet in tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.